Good morning, my dear friends. A reminder to you all that Tuesday night we are leaving from C4 Sport Fishing in San Diego, California on board the Apollo. We'd love to see you there. If you'd like to take the last two spots, just send me a text at 657-227-6459. You can get 15% off all your lobster gear and anything else when you go to promarahi.com and you put in Friedman Adventures, FA at checkout. You'll get that 15% off. And we'll be coming to you from Mexico this weekend, headed down there with the dog and, of course, Chuck Zimmer and his son, Charlie, to provide you with some really great content. Many of you have donated funds so we can take care of some people who really need your help. And I can't thank you enough. God bless you all. All right, stay tuned. You know what's next. Please don't forget to support the Friedman Adventures family members who make this all possible, like the taxman, Tim Marquez, and your garage door man, Joe Welker, who does a great job and gets rave reviews here at Friedman Adventures. Heating and or air conditioning needs, it's our dear friend, John Lopez. And also the Island Spirit, Ventura Sport Fishing. You can't beat it. Chris Isaac and the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing, www.longbeachsportfishing.org.
Get out of bed and wake up the kids, 'cause you know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Fishing reports up and down the coast. With Phil Friedman, your coffee-loving host. So much fishing intel, it feels like cheating when you tune into the morning briefing. Inshore, offshore, from the surf, bluefin, yellowtail, pod, surf, perch. They'll tell you where the fish are and what they're eating when you tune into the morning briefing. So give it a like and subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified of all the fishing content coming your way. Friedman Adventures is here to make your fishing day. It's a morning briefing, morning briefing.
Good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. It is an absolutely gorgeous morning. It's just barely daybreak. In fact, it is so beautiful here. Let me turn this around and show you the sun coming up over there. I don't know if you can see that little sliver of a moon and the planet hovering above it. And then we'll just pan around here for one moment to show you that big, beautiful ship here in Seal Beach, California. Reminder of the sacrifices the men and women of the United States Armed Forces make all the time. All right, we got a lot to cover with you before we hit the road for Mexico. We're going to go down to Mexico. We'll be doing some charity work down there. Of course, we'll be showing you some of the great things you can experience, including the Festival de Sabor. It's a big culinary festival that's going on in Tijuana. We're going to take you down there and show you that and so much more. We'll be checking out so many other great venues, so stay tuned for some great content this weekend. Also, we are going to cover here on the morning briefing some great fishing in Mexico. Our bluefin tuna bite, what's up with that? Is it continuing to be wide open? It's been really great fishing here recently. We'll check out the Channel Islands. Don't forget, 2 spots available Tuesday night. C4 Sport Fishing on board the Apollo with Friedman Adventures. Your chance to become part of the next Friedman Adventures YouTube video. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh my God, is that good? Nobody down here this early in the morning. It's beautiful though. I've got to tell you, that ocean looks very, very nice. There's a lot of kelp here on the beach. However, surf fishing, you know, that could be a little bit of an issue. Hey, if you don't mind, hit that like button. Please share these videos everywhere. Subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel and tick that rotten, filthy, disgusting, deplorable little bell. You will be notified when there is new content. You can also follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Let's check it out. Man, it feels warm to me. Beautiful conditions here this morning. Hope you get out on the water here really, really soon and have a great adventure. All right, let's get into it with you all. Let's take it to the long range scene and tell you that the long range boys have been experiencing some great weather down 400 or 500 miles down the Baja coast, out of the Lejos Rocks. 7 and 8 day trips are what is running out of San Diego right now, and they've been all really, really good. Whether you want yellowfin tuna or yellowtail, or you're going to spend some time on the beach catching some halibut and calico bass along with the yellows, it has been really good. Independence with great yellowtail fishing. They've really been putting the wood to the yellows here recently. The XL had an outstanding day of yellowfin tuna fishing, 40 to 80 pound fish, some of it bigger than that. And the Royal Polaris all over the yellowtail, the yellowfin tuna yesterday. They're on the yellowtail this morning and already catching fish. Man, it has been really, really good. Yo-yo iron, surface iron, that's been the way to go. Also, we continue to see really good fishing south of the border down at Cedros. There's great yellowtail fishing continuing at Cedros Island. Surface iron's been the best way to go. There's also just incredible calico bass fishing. That just doesn't seem to let up. And there's still the occasional white sea bass, halibut. Wouldn't surprise me to see a few more flurries down there. San Clemente, 140 miles down below the border. We have seen some outstanding fishing going on there with regard to yellowtail on the surface iron. There's bluefin tuna just outside of there. And our friend Jeff Lingle has been all over that recently. Of course, Jeff is such a great source of ours and provides us with so much information. I'll have more on what he did there offshore when we get to the bluefin tuna report. Also, as we get you to Ensenada, those guys have been catching good amounts of bluefin tuna. It may not be every single day, but in most cases, you'll find them and they're up boiling around. You see those big foamers. Sometimes it's just puddling fish. Throwing one of the tuna riot poppers has been such a great way to get a bite in that kind of scenario. So keep that in mind. I'm telling you right now, we continue to see fish in that 10 to 40 pound class, but sometimes over 100 troll Mad Mac kind of lures have been working. There's some good hits on the Barracuda, a few yellowtail around Todos Santos Island and south down around Santo Tomas. Our friend Carlos Cortez out of Popotla, 15-minute drive south of Rosarito Beach, continues to do really, really well. Also on a variety of species. He's had yellows, he's had tons of rockfish, and he's had bluefin tuna. Cortez sport fishing. He fishes hard and does a really great job. All right, let's talk about our bluefin tuna. And it's a little bit more mixed right now. There still are those wide open catches, but there's been some misses here. Also, the weather got up, it got a little bit breezy, and that made things kind of difficult here recently, but we continue to see some really good fishing. In fact, the daytime fishing has been really good here recently. I like what we're seeing on that daytime bite. A lot of times you're catching that 10 to 40 pound bluefin tuna. It's up boiling around and man, it puts on quite a show. When you're fly lining a bait, 25 pound fluorocarbon, I'd like you to fish 30 if you can get away with it. Choose a good hot bait and that will help you to achieve that goal. But we've seen a lot of that fish on the fly line bait. Some guys pay attention, and when the captain says, you know, I'm metering bigger fish down deeper, and they'll go to a sinker rig, like a 3-ounce torpedo sinker, chrome torpedo sinker. That has also been a really effective way to get the job done. At night, depends upon the breeds. 300-gram lures have been really, really good. But also I would have a 400 or 500 in case you get into a breezy scenario. Those fish will bite in those breezy scenarios. You just need to get down to them and stay vertical. That's what's really important. And that is for our guys who are on the Apollo. I'll be reaching out to you in the next couple of days. Love to see you at the landing at 7 p.m., 9 p.m. departure. We should have some good daytime fishing. At least that's the hope. It looks like the weather's going to be nice. Might get a little breezy at night. That's why I'm admonishing you all to bring some heavier jigs along with you. And you know, the door is wide open to other species. If you get your limit of bluefin on day one, man, you can catch sea bass, halibut, calico, rockfish. It's really wide open. We've seen some really good sea bass hits, especially up there on the Amigo out of 22nd Street. Landing, Pacific Dawn, limits of bluefin tuna. The Apollo out of C4 Sport Fishing, limits of bluefin tuna. Pacific Voyager, Max Nui, limits of bluefin tuna. Polaris Supreme had limits of bluefin tuna. Oceanside 95, limits of bluefin tuna, mostly 50-pound fish. Now, the Fury was out of Dana War Sport Fishing with our dear friend, Susan Sosa, who is a remarkable lady angler and an even better person than she is an angler. Man, that says a lot. She says day one was pretty tough. Weather was up. They had 17 on the bluefin tuna. Also on day two, really tough fishing for them. They had only one bluefin tuna that you see Agnes showing you there. Way to go, Agnes, with a nice catch. We love it. Way to go with the lady anglers doing so well. So there are some scores like that also. The Navigante got into some fish out of Redondo Sport Fishing. They probably should have had limits, but anglers were using too light of line when they got into a little bit bigger grade of fish, popping them off, and that just did not do the trick. So we'll continue to watch this for you very, very closely. Our friend, Jeff Lingle. Jeff, it pains me to say it, but good luck with USC this weekend. And also Rob, who gave me the Tower beautiful tour. You remember him? Rob Dubé, my friend. I'm rooting for LSU now. And Brian Kelly, good luck to you also. You guys are killing me, let me tell you, with the season that Notre Dame is having. Oh, come on. Top 10 teams, 4 points total. We'll be all right, I think. Who knows? Well, anyway, Jeff Lingle, he's bouncing around. He had 6 yellowfin tuna, 3 bluefin tuna, 7 yellowtail, a dorado. He had some nice big ones too last night, but he said there was some windy conditions down where he is. He's currently on the beach right now, fishing for white sea bass down in that 140, 160 miles south of Point Loma region in Mexican water. So he's on the coast, and he's been doing really well on the white sea bass down there in that area. So really, really good stuff. Mixed on the bluefin tuna right now, but the moon is right. All you need is that light switch to stay where it is. It's been pretty darn good for most of the boys, but I do want you to know there has been some misses. All right, let's check out what's going on with regard to our islands right now down there at the Coronado Islands. Occasional hits on the Yellowtail. May not be wide open, but it's pretty darn good. The San Diego had a group of wounded warriors on board yesterday. The men and women who've given it all for each and every one of us, and we bless them and we thank them for their service and sacrifice. 13 on the Yellowtail for the San Diego. Not bad, you know, picking at the yellows, and there's plenty of calico bass, rockfish, whitefish, sheephead, that kind of a thing. We look at San Clemente Island. We've seen some really good fishing on calico bass there. There's a lot of sheephead and whitefish, and you can catch all the rockfish you could possibly want. And the tuna zone is right there. So, I mean, you go fish tuna, and then you go into Clemente, and you have some fun, man. The calico bass bite has been off the hook. Tons of rockfish and occasional good hits on sea bass and yellowtail. That's what makes it so nice to have that bluefin so close to that island. Same thing with regard to San Nicolas Island. Catalina Island, we're picking at a few bass over there. Sometimes it's okay, not wide open. Drop that fluoro down to 12 and you'll have a much better chance at it. Also, we've been seeing some bonito at times. Rockfish, whitefish, you can normally catch plenty of that unless you just dedicate yourselves to game fishing. There's a few yellows and barracuda jumping around there also. The El Patron is headed out there, and you're not going to want to miss it. www.longbeachforfishing.org every single morning with special weekday low prices, only $1.25 to go to Catalina Island. I don't know how on earth you can beat that. Really great stuff there. All right, up in the Channel Islands, we've seen some sea bass hits out there at San Nicolas Island. Up further, the Island Spirit, 10 guys on their halibut special, 10 halibut on Wednesday. That was another good one, and they'll be running another halibut special this coming Wednesday. They're a lot of fun. They've been very productive. The rest of this week, Daniel Hottaway and the Island Spirit out of Ventura Sport Fishing will be fishing rockfish, trying for some halibut, and they'll try for whatever's biting, but they'll try to load you up with some of the finest eating fish in the sea on board the Island Spirit. Don't forget, on Sunday, kids fish free. You're going to want to take advantage of that. So remember, 805-676-3474, or you can visit VenturaSportFishing.com and get on board the Island Spirit, man. I love that ride. I love Daniel. I love the crew. Ventura Sport Fishing, man. What a great venue to go fishing, no doubt about that. We'll ride you up to Avila Beach, Morro Bay. Good rock fishing going on up there in the California Dawn, too. Up there out of San Francisco, our friend KJ was on board and raved about the great rock fishing, lings and big old reds, just great fishing. He's on board again, and they're hoping to go out to the islands, the Farallon Islands, and see what they can dig up. Weather was up too much yesterday to get out there. Inside, there's still good striped bass fishing. It's been excellent here. Recently, we've seen a few halibut also. There's some albacore offshore also, but you need that weather window, no question about it. Hey, I can almost see down here now. The sun has come up. It's a beautiful morning. It's going to be a beautiful drive to Mexico Lindo with Chuck Zimmer from Z Custom Rods. And, of course, the dog and Chuck's son, Charlie, is going to be along with us. We take a look at our 1/2 and 3/4 day fishing, and what a trip on the new Seaforth out of Seaforth Sport Fishing yesterday. They really put the wood room with 14 yellowtail, a halibut, a white sea bass. Of course, there's rockfish and sheephead to go along with it, but that's the kind of hit we've been talking about. We've been telling you that there's been quite a bit of that yellowtail bouncing around La Jolla and other areas, and they got in on it, throwing the iron perhaps the best way for two reasons. They bite it, number one, and two, you can fish them with heavier line on the iron. Do not throw the iron with anything less than 40, and I prefer 50 pounds, so you can really pull on those fish. Nice hit for them. Sand calico bass being released there out of Dana Wharf. There's been a lot of that here in the LA Orange County area. We continue to see some decent bass scores once in a while. Most of the time it's going to be sculpin and rockfish, that kind of a hit going on here, but you'll see a little bit of bass and even some barracuda at times. Wondering when that yellowtail is going to get up here and start to bite a little bit better. Also up there in the Santa Monica Bay, a few bass, mostly sculpin and rockfish. And up there in Channel Islands, we've been seeing some pretty good fishing on some bass along the coast, although for maybe 4 days now, that's been kind of off the bite. They're able to fill you up with that rockfish, but hopefully we'll see that surface bite come back on along the coast there. All right, let's talk about the Southern California surf. Big fish, bait, and tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California. 20% off all lobster-related gear for you right now. All you got to do is walk in the door and scream, Friedman Adventures. 20% off. I don't know how you can beat it. They've got all the bait you'll need to fish the Southern California surf, and they've got all the tackle you'll need to not only do that, but fish tuna, white sea bass, yellowtail, and everything else. Down there around Dog Beach, Huntington Beach, pretty good Corbina fishing here yesterday. Not wide open, but pretty good on a sand crab in that short water, fishing light line. Other guys say the line test doesn't matter. But, you know, if you want to play it safe or just have some fun, drop down to 6 pound with a little trout rod in that short water and you'll do pretty good. There's been some small leopard sharks there, occasional spot fin croaker and yellowfin croaker, small barred perch, and good fishing up there in the Santa Monica Bay. El Segundo, El Porto, between the Manhattan Beach and Hermosa Beach here is where we've seen some pretty darn good Corbina fishing here recently. You've got to love that. All right, my friends, what can I tell you? It is a gorgeous Friday morning, and of course we wish you all our very, very best. We'll have some content coming to you from Mexico this weekend. I can't wait to bring that to you, and of course we'll be monitoring the situation very, very closely for you all elsewhere and everywhere. Can't thank you enough for joining us. Thank you so much to all of you who've sent funds along for us to distribute in Mexico these next couple of days. You are a blessing to Friedman Adventures. I really can't thank you enough. Anybody else wants to do that, you can Zelle to the 657-227-6459, or the Venmo is, well, I'll put that in text down below because, you know, it's easier that way. And also 2 spots, Apollo Tuesday night, C4 sport fishing. Come on, I know you want to go. Jump on board with us. Let's go have some fun. And you can be part of the next Friedman Adventures YouTube video. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one. And I hope to see you really, really soon.